Okay, this is another video that we're gonna do, and so we're just gonna do a few things, just gonna walk around a little bit. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna get out and turn on our Nintendo Switch, just to see how noise interacts with the mic. Just to start up the Switch, as you do, with the volume down. We're just going to see how the buttons interact with the mic and how it sounds, things like that. There won't be anything on the screen because can't bother with that at the moment. But right now we're just going to go through a level of Kirby Star Allies. Just doing what we do, which is, killing people and then befriending them through means of trial and error, and then forming them into a ball, and then destroying everything in our path. Just to see how the motions, the vibrations of the Switch and stuff sound on the mic, how the buttons sound when I click them like this. But normally my talking voice would be like this, so we're just gonna try it out, just see how it goes. Okay, we finished the level, we got one of those speed hearts. Let's go. Okay. Right now we're on World 2, and we're doing one of these runs, just so I can see what I need to do in order to unlock the Dream Friends for the Star Allies Go, question mark, whatever that thing's called. Just running through the level, really. Just spamming one specific move over and over again. Because it's easy. Because the game is easy. And all my guys that I have are fired up with fire, powered up with fire. I was going to say both of them at the same time, and my brain was like, you know how your brain gets like that sometimes? Oh, picked up a health heart. Maybe sometime in the future I'll do a run where, I can't pick up any of those special hearts or whatever unless the game forces me to, because that'd be pretty interesting, I think. Alright, water time. Personally, this game it's so, easy to get lost in, just playing this game over and over. It's so soothing. It's just such a good game to just play with friends. I mean, honestly, the developers, I don't know if HAL Laboratory worked on this one, they probably did, but the developers of this game really put so much thought and effort into it when making this game, especially for friends, because this game really does work for friends. I wish that they had brought back the whole DDD, Meta Knight, Waddle Dee, or Bandana Dee, extra characters, so that your friends could also play along with Kirby or whatever and not have to be, what this game calls a friend. I say what this game calls a friend it's a derogatory term, but no, this game's actually really, really just a fun game. Really, I'm not bothered about doing 100% completion on these runs, or at least this one. If it's a requirement to get an 100% achievement or something later on down the road, which it probably isn't, So one problem I have with this game, or maybe not a problem, but an issue I have, is that maybe it's just because I haven't broken my Switch in yet, but it's because I don't know how to say it, but it just feels really, the joystick anyway, feels really clacky, I guess is a alright term for that. It feels very stiff and it doesn't feel smooth. If you look at the Wii U's joysticks, those things were not stiff, and maybe it's just because the Switch is small and not used to it yet, but Okay, mash the buttons, run past the chef because we don't need him. We already got Bugsy and Meta Knight and Sword Guy. Cool. Yeah, Blade Knight, whatever. Right now we're doing that ninja guy, Biospark, I think he's called. The only reason I wanted to is because, well, like I said before, gotta finish the quest line to get Meta Knight, King DDD, all those guys unlocked, or at least I hope so. If it doesn't happen, then I'll probably just scream and then cry and then die and then just like go into this state of like disbelief and then fall to the ground, just like bleeding from my eyes because I can't unlock it. I don't know why I'm so passionate about playing as honestly playing as Meta Knight in this game, but for some reason it's just like I want to be that edgy teenager that I always wanted to be, that sort of thing, that sort of feeling. Anyway, really these bridge puzzles are, well, they're all right. It's something else, these bridge puzzles sometimes. Sometimes the game is too easy, but honestly, I couldn't care less if the game was easy or not. I just care that the game is fun. Ooh, we got a checkpoint, cool. So, when doing a Kirby Star Allies run, you really got to take into account, just how much time you're willing to put into the game. It really this goes for any game, but just how much time you're willing to put into a game to either complete it or just play it fully, or hell, just even playing the game, just playing the game in general. There's so many times where I've been I really want to play this game, but it's gonna take up so many hours of time for me that it's almost not worth it, right? That's how it is for me anyway. It's if I don't like this game enough to continue playing it for the rest of my life type deal, I'm not gonna be as enthusiastic when playing it. Kirby Star Allies has this weird medium where it's I love this game, but only parts of it, only the fun parts, only the parts where it's exciting. But that can be said for games like Super Smash Bros. Ultimate too. The only good parts about that are the DLC characters. That's not the only fun part about it, and I will go play that game. But what I'm saying is that for a long time it was like that, and it was so strange to just see that sort of mentality of, hey, I don't want to play this game because there's nothing new out, right? And that's how I feel that you kind of can't be doing that with a game, at least most games anyway. But the old Lego Wii games that they had, it was very oh, collect all the characters, oh, get enough coins to unlock this thing. The levels were good and all, and it was a fine game to play with my cousins back in the day. They would play that game with me. They'd also make fun of me, but that's that's fine. You play as Robin and not Batman, you're gonna get some of that. But just the Lego games like that, they were fun and all, but it was just very repetitive. Now, I'm not saying that most games nowadays are repetitive, because in some aspects, well, all games are repetitive. At some point, you're going to repeat yourself in a game, and you're going to be like, I felt like I've done this already, right? That feeling of deja vu, I guess, it's not going to go away. If you've beaten a game once, you're going to be able to remember it just fine the next time you play through it, or if you do a similar action in the game, right? I'm not saying that a game is bad because of that, because in all honesty, games are meant to be replayed, right? If a game doesn't have good replay value, then it's not that great of a game. Like Pokemon, that's a perfect example. It has such great replay value with the variety that you can do. Even if you don't play the game competitively, or try to catch every Pokemon, or do this or that, it really doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, it's all this one big choice to make of either your team, making your team, which which Pokemon you're going to use for this specific battle. Or, hey, maybe I want to do a themed run, like only use dragon types, or only use this, like, weird subset of Pokemon, like, only use the water types that have dark typing along with them, or something like that, right? Just have very specific, like, Pokemon runs or something. But the only reason you can do that is because there's so much variety in that game. And I haven't gotten around to play Pokemon Sword and Shield yet, but I will definitely play it on the channel because I think it's a fun game. I think it's a really fun, just really honestly, all in all, Pokemon games are, there's a good few where I'm like, yes, I will easily play this game again, and you don't have to ask me twice. And then there's some Pokemon games where it's like, God, I hated this. Please end my suffering. Like a perfect example of one of these for me anyway was Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. Now I've heard that Red and Blue, just like they're Pokemon Sapphire and Pokemon Ruby, just originally were, better than Pokemon Red and Pokemon Blue were way better than, what they seemed, or like the precursor games to them, like how they're going to be releasing a Pokemon Platinum remake or whatever, but they're going to restyle it as a different game entirely, right? Like how we have Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, but we also have Pokemon Sun and Moon, right? That's what I'm talking about. But just rambling on, as you do when you play a video game that's just relaxing. Like I said, this video game, you can get yourself lost in it sometimes, not gonna lie. Just playing the game. Honestly, this would be a perfect game if I were to... Okay, I'm dead. This would be a perfect game to play with my friends, things like that. Honestly, it'd be a perfect game to play with my family if my family was like, they played video games, but they do not. My family does not play video games, and so I cannot show them the games that I play, right? Now, eventually, they're probably going to see a video or something like that, but, starting off playing video games, most people are like, oh, this video game's fun, and then that's it, like, and again, goes back to the replay value and all that jazz, but, But some Pokemon games for me were just not enjoyable. Like, as I said, Pokemon Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire. I know that the precursor games, some people say, are better. Personally, I haven't played them, so I wouldn't know, right? I have played Pokemon Platinum, and I love that game to pieces. So naturally, when I heard that there's going to be a Pokemon Platinum remake, I was in heaven, because that game was literally my childhood. Actually, I could be wrong about this, but I remember my Uncle John, he had a Game Boy that he gave me, because he didn't use it, because he was, more of a farm boy, unlike me, because I'm not that. I don't, do anything farm related, really, unless my dad's like, hey, want to go down and do this chore that you don't know how to do, that I'm going to teach you because you're my son type deal. Yes, of course I'll help him with that, because honestly it's fun. It's really enjoyable to do these things. Right. It's really enjoyable for me. Anyway. But, my Uncle John, he gave me his Game Boy, and I was like, what is this? And he's like, oh, it's a Game Boy. And, like, obviously my little kid brain was like, oh, I only know DS and Wii, because, those were the only two video game systems out at the time, were those two, the DS and the Wii. I guess you could say the N64, that line of consoles, the GameCube, the Game Boy, that stuff, was before my time, so I didn't really get to experience GameCube games. I had heard about them, like, the infamous Pikmin 2 GameCube, that was better than the one on Wii. various other games that were on the GameCube that, I couldn't experience because I didn't own one or I wasn't around at the time or, something else. But it really just puts into perspective how, like, modern we've gotten. Like, people don't even think about, well, most people of a new generation don't even think about past consoles until they either get really focused on video games or they just just have a knack for that, or one of their friends has an old console and they play a game together when they were growing up or something. But for me, playing video games has always been just this way of not wasting time, but it's been a very good stress reliever in some ways, right? It's been very good to just sit down, relax, play a video game, either by myself, with friends, talking to friends online through, social media, things like that. And with the new laws and stuff, it's kind of lame, but it is what it is. And also, that's why I'm not going to play music in the videos. It's just going to be me rambling and the occasional washer and dryer noise from the laundry room. That's